loud and clear. We're going to kick this party off in just a second. So first off, let me know that you can hear me and see me okay in the chat box. What was the other thing I was going to say? Oh, yeah, tell me how you're doing. It's like, wow, that's all brain fart. Tell me how you're doing. Tell me where in the world you're tuning in with us today live. Even if you're catching the replay later on. Oh, no way, Brett just left Laguna. Yeah, hometown, born and raised. Good. Hey, Luca, good to see you. Awesome. Thank you guys so much. We're going to get started here in about a minute or two. I'm going to keep the comments open so I can look at them as much as possible today. If you're not familiar with today's presentation, we're going to talk all about this, authentic selling. I'll tell you why that's our topic for today, why that's such an important topic, and how that can really help you to increase sales in your online business now more than ever. So I'm really excited to share this. I've shared a lot of this information in the past, and it's had a tremendous impact on our students and clients, and I got a lot more to share with you today. So get ready for that. Get ready for that. Again, if you're just joining us, let us know how you're doing, where you're tuning in from in the comments. My team and I are here. We're looking at your comments. So what's up, everybody? Matt, good to see you. Garrett, Jeff, Nikki from LA. Jerry, Smells, good to see you. Asa Wilder, Allie Smith, Karen Carter, Nashville, Tennessee. Good to see you guys. Thank you guys so much for being here. So the reason I have my phone out is not because I'm like texting and tweeting, but because I'm going to be asking a lot of questions to you guys. This is going to be a different type of presentation. This is going to be much more of a conversation. It's going to ask for you guys to be a little engaged with me as much as we possibly can, because that's how I like to work with my students. Instead of me talking at you and trying to fill your head with a bunch of stuff, I actually want this to be much more two-way. I want it to be much more of a discovery process of what's been getting in the way. You know, one of my favorite analogies I like to start with is a car analogy. You know, when you want to build your business, we can kind of look at you or your business as a car, and you're that driver, right? And what we tend to do is have a point A and a point B in our business. Like when people say, I want to grow my business, so I don't want to take it from here to here, right? And just like if you were going on a road trip, you'd say, I'm starting in LA and I want to go to Sedona, Arizona or something. That's where we're tuning in with you guys today. And so most people's strategy about driving a car and driving their business is relatively similar. They say, you know, how do I get there faster? How do I put more horsepower, more gas, put my pedal to the metal? And we, inside our program, and when I work with my coaches who work with you, as well as myself working with you, we have a very different approach. You know, because it was my dad who taught me a long time ago that the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. So instead of first just saying, how do we go faster? How do we have more horsepower? How do we speed up? How do we put the pedal to the metal? What we tend to do is say, how about we take our foot off the brake? How about we take a look at what's holding us back, slowing us down? You know, we're sitting there driving along and not even realizing we've got the e-brake on, our foot on the brake, and a rock under our tire, and we're wondering why I don't get it. I'm doing everything that I'm supposed to be doing, and it's just not working. So we take a slightly different approach to building business because it's first much more about letting go, looking at the resistance, those counter thoughts that keep us stuck in self-sabotage. And I'm going to tell you this right now. I have to assume that a lot of you are here because you're already getting a sense that we have some of those counter thoughts, that resistance around selling. And believe it or not, the day you said, I want a business, James. I want to be an entrepreneur. I have an idea. Is also the day that you signed up to be in sales. And there's really no way around it, right? So you signed up to be in sales the day you started your business. And we each have a relationship with selling. And it's going to be that relationship that you have with selling that's going to be pretty indicative, pretty correlated to the sales that you're actually getting, which means the money that you're actually making, which means the people that you're actually helping. And so I would assume a lot of people came here because they want to learn some new fancy schmancy sales technique strategy, which I can always give you those. We have them all inside Business by Design for you. And maybe if I do that, that'll be the right one. That's what I can chase now. But if we're still holding on to this old stories, these old beliefs about selling, nothing's really going to change. So my invitation to you as we hang out today, that this becomes a bit of a conversation. Okay, I got you here. You're here with me. And that you're willing to be open-minded and open-hearted enough to stop looking out there for the magic formula and start looking in here, looking in there, for what may be getting in the way of you authentically selling. So hopefully that sounds good. Let me know if you're like, yes, I'm in the right place. Nope, that's not what I'm here for. I'm not going to take it personally or anything like that. But let me know that that's what you're here for. Let me know that that's what you're excited about, because that's what I want to help you with today. We're going to have a fantastic conversation. Every time I talk about these things, minds get blown. Why did mine get blown? Because the things that are holding you back because you don't know they're holding you back. If you knew they were holding you back, you wouldn't let them hold you back, right? So when we get to discover the things that are like those invisible brakes on our business that are holding us back, we have an opportunity to take our foot off the brake, to let it go. And when you let it go, you're free. You're free to act, you're free to be, you're free to sell. You're free to unapologetically put your stuff out there, honor your offer, and help more people. And that's what I want to help each and every person here today. Okay? And hopefully I'm qualified enough in your mind to be someone who can talk about those things. I think we did the math. I think we're at about $45 million in sales and total revenue in the life of my business. So we've done a lot of selling. I've sold on webinars, on video series, on sales pages, on live events, on virtual events, automated. I've done just about every different type of selling you could do, whether it's, you know, tripwires and funnels and automated webinars and all that type of stuff. And I've been able to help a lot of other people doing it. And if it wasn't authentic, you know, we can talk about what that even means. Anybody, you know, authentic to me means effective as part of it, right? Because if it's inauthentic, it's not going to be effective for very long, is it? Right? So I think we've learned a thing or two over the years. We've been able to teach it to other people, and I want to be able to teach it here for you guys today. Okay? So I'm getting yeses and totallys and for sure. So thanks, Edward and Jay and Lance. Yasmin says exactly what I need. Trina says so ready. Great. Okay. So before we do that, give me an update where you guys are on a free 8-part video series. The Rise of the Digital CEO released on Monday. It's now Thursday. Let me know what number. Type the number into the chat box on where you are in the series. If you finished all 8, type in 8. If you've done it twice, go 8 times 2. If you've only done one episode, type in 1. If you haven't got started, just let me know you haven't gotten started. This is our free video series, which is going to actually integrate perfectly with what we're going to talk about here today. Basically, for 13 and a half, 14 years now, I have in some capacity in many different niches been able to make a living by selling digital products, information, programs, everything you can think of, to online courses, memberships, paid workshops, masterminds, group coaching, live events, retreats, workshops, just even recordings. I've done ebooks, I've done physical books, you name it. done it, right? And what's really exciting, and you're really going to start to discover this as you go through the series and you start working with me, is that I understand there's a lot of overwhelm and there's a lot of confusion out there. No one's out there saying, oh my goodness, there's such a shortage of information on the internet on how to build an online business. No, it's quite the opposite, isn't it? It's like on a hot summer day, you have a glass of lemonade at the lemonade stand, cute young kids, like, you want a glass of lemonade, 25 cents? You're like, yes, of course, thank you. And they say, you want another one? You're like, okay, why not, I'll have a second. And then by the 10th or 11th glass of lemonade, you're ready to puke. And I think that's how most people are right now, right? They're ready to puke with all the information, all the paths, and all the ways in which you can get to the destination that you want to get to. And so we have a slightly different approach where we basically focus on principle-based teachings, which is when you're in this industry for 14 years, as long as I have, so many things come and go, so many people come and go, so many things change. And people see these things change. Some of you who have been in this industry for a long time might have started going, well, why is James doing 8 videos? I thought he was supposed to be 3. 8 is the new 3? Orange is the new black? And the reality is the principles that I operate from and the principles I teach, principles around selling, around marketing, around authority and expertise, around business in general, those haven't changed in the last 100 plus years, right? And so when you operate from that place, business becomes simple. You get to ignore the shiny objects and all the things above the surface of the iceberg. They're always moving, always constantly changing. They always will. And you get to operate with a lot more peace, a lot more certainty, a lot more clarity, a lot more confidence. So you're going to learn some principles today. Hopefully from going through the series, you'll have learned some things as well. And then, oh wow, we've got people like Aurelia has gone through it twice. Sharon has finished all 8. Suzanne did 8 plus 4 on round 2. I love it. Awesome. So we put a link for you guys in there, I believe, so you can watch that, businessbydesign.net/rise. We also did another training earlier this week that I would really invite you guys to check out called Creating Money on Demand. I know it sounds a little like sleazy and slimy, but it really is, as entrepreneurs, it's the opportunity that we all have. Especially in times like this, the amount of businesses that have had to close down, the amount of people that have been laid off from work, what I figured out a long time ago as an entrepreneur is that my business is a reflection of me. And the same goes for you, which means as you grow, as you start thinking differently, that gets manifested and reflected in your business. Right? And so we have a very backwards, counterintuitive approach to approaching your goals and your outcomes. And I love doing that training because it offers so much clarity. We get so stuck in the first few steps. What niche, James? What direction, James? Is it a course or a membership? Is it a webinar or a challenge? And that process that we take people through kind of just makes all that stuff irrelevant and says, this is what I need to do. This is it. So if you're looking for a little bit more of that clarity, especially in this time, I would invite you to go through that. Yeah, so Fawn is asking, where is that training? We have an all-access page, which we'll post, but we have a Facebook group to go join us that's in there. So we'll probably put you in the Facebook group if you're not in the Facebook group, and come hang out with us there, okay? So look at that. People posting for me. Someone's hijacked my account. No, it's my team. Okay, and then at the end of today, we're going to give away a bunch of stuff, so I hope you'll stick around and go through the replay. Okay, so you guys ready to do some authentic selling? I'm going to bring up some of my notes. I'm going to be going all over the place today and talking about a lot of different things. And we're going to have some coffee. We're going to have some fun. Now, one of the reasons why we were inspired to do this presentation and this conversation in the first place is because I love asking my community really great questions. And one of the questions that I asked last year was, if you had a business genie in a lamp, what's one business wish that you would wish for? What a great question, because it kind of brings us into our childhood imagination, We get to suspend disbelief for a moment and all the realistic responsibilities of being an adult. You say, if I just had a wish that I could ask a business genie, what would I ask for? And no, a million wishes or a million genies is not possible. So we had a lot of answers come in, and there was a common one that I pulled out that inspired all this training. And the answer was, I wish to have the ability to get out of my head, to start wholeheartedly believing in myself, and to develop the ability to sell my services. And that's what really inspired all of this today. And I said, that's what I really feel is authentic selling. Okay? So that's what we're going to get into. That's where we're going to start. Okay? So in order to do that, I'm kind of thinking where I want to start. As I mentioned earlier for people just popping on, the moment you got into business is the moment you said I'm in sales, whether you like it or not. And when you're in a digital product-based business, you are absolutely in sales on a whole nother level, because if you look at it like this, what's something that you've purchased on Amazon in the last week or two? So someone type in some examples, because I just got to know. Like, what's the weirdest thing or the most peculiar thing that you've purchased, not an inappropriate thing, but the weirdest thing that you purchased on Amazon in the last week or two, right? We asked this question. People are like, laundry detergent or new socks. I got these 2 Airbnbs out in Sedona, so I'm buying stuff on there every day. It's like, oh, I need a new spatula, right? You're just getting random things on there. But how many of you have gone to Amazon looking for an online course or looking for a coach, right? Probably no one. I would assume no one. I'm assuming no one goes to Amazon.com and then says, online course, membership, about knitting, about interior design, right? About weight loss. No. The funny thing is, though, most people that have online courses and memberships and digital products, that's how they're trying to sell their products. They're trying to sell their product like it is something that belongs on Amazon. Like they just put a picture and a logo on their website and an add to cart button, and they say products at the top tab, and you click on it, and this is your product. And then we wonder why no one's buying. And this really breaks my heart, because I've seen and experienced time and time again so many people that are spending months trying to create the perfect course, and then no one buys. I don't get it. It's sitting there on my website. I don't get it. I've got the perfect add to cart. I got a great logo. I got a great name. I've got 27,000 modules. I don't get it. I don't get it. And Kevin Costner was wrong. If you build it, they won't come. And so we have to double down and understand that if you want to do this, if this is what you've already been doing, you've already burned those bridges, but you think you can ignore the selling piece, if you think you can have an unhealthy relationship with selling, you got another thing coming to you. And so that's really what we want to work with today. So again, I'm going to ask you to have something to write with. I'm going to ask that you be really open to participate and really ask yourself some questions. Like, you're here, you made the time for yourself to be here, so will you actually do some work and look inward and be reflective? Because these are all the things I had to do. I like to take the things that I've done that help me and then bring it to other people, and I know you like to do the same. So the first thing we have to do is understand our relationship with selling. So on a piece of paper, and then if you guys want to post it in here, please do. How do you finish this sentence? Selling is fun. And I don't want you to give me the right answer. I want you to give me your answer that's been true for you up until this moment. What is selling? Take a really good hard look to see what are the beliefs and the stories that I have about selling, because it is the beliefs and stories that you have about selling that is going to be really, really correlated to the results you're getting in your business. And until we start changing these stories and telling ourselves a new story, very little is going to change. That's what I had to change, and I want to help you with that. I can't change it for you, by the way. If you think I got a magic pill or I'm a genie in a lamp, I'm not. You're going to have to do this yourself. So selling is blank. Okay? So we got some, right? Okay, I'm going to write some of these down. Okay? Now, I'm going to have, some of you guys are going to have to go, so scary or terrifying, difficult, it's a mystery, okay, horror, intimidating, I'm going to put that under scary because that's very similar. Manipulating, yeah, selling is manipulating. Uncomfortable, difficult. Selling is delicate, I've never heard that one before. Selling makes me feel vulnerable, okay, great. Unnecessary evil, cool, okay, great. So for those of you, this is only you can do this, and you can post it in if you want. We want to start to look at what is selling is blank. This is a clue to our relationship with selling. How do I see selling? What beliefs do I have about selling? If anything else comes up for you, write it down. What other beliefs do I have about selling? Okay? Now, when someone wrote, it's scary, intimidating, difficult, or hard, I'm going to ask for you to get a little bit more specific with me. So what about selling is scary? What about selling is intimidating? What about selling is difficult? What about it? Work with me here. Push yourself a little bit and see how specifically is it scary? How exactly is it intimidating? How is it difficult? How is it hard? Okay? And really see if you can get clear on that. Okay? Now, also, if you guys have selling sucks, I love that. Selling sucks, right? Okay. So my point in doing this is for us to be able to bring the invisible visible. In other words, start to ask, what other beliefs do I have about selling? What is my relationship with selling? And I'd like you to consider for a moment that whatever you're putting here is not the truth. It's simply a matter of a perspective. It's one perspective. Can I get some guesses from you guys, and I know there's a delay, that you can at least acknowledge that whatever you put here is a perspective or a belief, but not the one and only truth. Because why this is so important is because I tell, especially in business by design over and over again, how you see business perspective will determine what's possible for you. Your perspective on selling will determine what's possible for you. Okay? So, I'm just kind of looking through here. This is good. Okay. So I want you guys to notice what came up for you. Some people are saying some really, like awesome things. Don't judge it. It's just it has to be real and true for you. Okay? So, let me see where I want to go from here. Okay, good, I'm getting yeses. So, I'm just going to go right into this. Here's how we first like to look at selling. Selling is a tool. So I like to use a really great metaphor here. Okay. Now before I go any further with this, let me actually try something else. I'm going to go to another thing, because I have an idea. So if you wrote down something like scary, intimidating, difficult, mystery, hard, it's manipulating, it's selling is bad, selling is sleazy, selling is evil, greedy, right? If you wrote anything like that down, I want to ask you another question for just a moment. What is this? Let me ask it this way. How much more could you make if you didn't believe this? Can you guys answer that for me? This is a fantastic question. How much more sales, how many more customers, whatever resonates with you, how much more revenue, sales, clients could you attract, could you make if you didn't believe, whatever those beliefs I listed out? If you didn't have a disempowering relationship with selling that made you feel awkward, uncomfortable, scared, intimidated. And see if you can answer that for me. How much more money could you make if you didn't believe those negative beliefs about money? Now, some people are saying unlimited, which is really amazing, and infinity and beyond, limitless, infinitely more. Seriously, see if you can get to a specific number, like how much per month, right? Why I do this is number one, so that you can actually start to pinpoint for yourself what is getting in the way, what is causing you to put the brakes on, right? But also, because whatever number you do put here, let's say you say, you know what, like even just 10K a month, this becomes the cost of not changing, or the cost of inaction. And when you have the opportunity, just in this question, to get present to what is costing you to hold on to this story, to hold on to the belief, that alone is an opportunity for you to finally let it go. And when we let it go, we have an easier way, or an easier time looking at this differently. So instead, for a moment, I'd like you to look at selling like a tool. So here's this really great metaphor. So what's another tool you can think of? I always like to think of a hammer. So I'm doing all this handyman work in my Airbnb, so I've been using a hammer, right? So a hammer is really interesting because you can use a hammer to build your dream house or build your kid's playhouse. But you can also use that same hammer to destroy something. So then the question is, if the hammer can build things and it can destroy things, is the hammer good or is it bad? Is a hammer good or bad? And what are you talking about? Like, what a silly question to ask. It's just a hammer. A hammer is just a hammer. And it really is going to come down to the intent of that individual wielding that tool. And that's exactly how we can look at selling as well. Because here's this person using this tool, right? How am I drawing? And I'd like you to consider that one of the reasons why you have these disempowering beliefs and stories in relationship with selling is because at one point in time, and probably several points in time, you had examples of people that use this tool in a yucky way. You know, like one of those ways that made you want to go take a shower afterwards. Like, it's not that selling is sleazy or pushy, it's that people can use this tool in a sleazy, pushy way, just like you can use this hammer to build or destroy. But the problem is that we tend to not separate the tool from the individual, and we collapse it together, and we say, this was a sleazy, pushy, manipulative experience, therefore selling is. But like I said, the moment you got into business, you also got into sales. And for those that are, if you're not in business, you don't want to be in business, then this wouldn't be for you. But if you're in business, you must separate these two again. You must begin to separate the two from each other. And that becomes a really funny phenomenon as well. That's kind of like a paradoxical cosmic joke. I've talked about this before, the Dunning-Kruger effect. You guys can Google this. I don't really know where it comes from. It's two gentlemen, right? They did all these studies and this research, and what they found out is that this interesting, fascinating phenomenon, if you guys have heard of Dunning-Kruger, let me know. It's this interesting, fascinating phenomenon where the more somebody knows something, it's like the lower their self-esteem goes about the topic. Because it's like the more that you know, the more that you don't know. And then the people that have like this hubris, like overconfidence, tend to be the ones that don't know very much. Right? Have you ever seen that before? Like the more you've learned about your topic or something that interests you, you start to even doubt and question yourself, because the more you educate yourself, the more you realize there's left to educate. And somebody that really hasn't learned that much doesn't know what they don't know, so they enter something with a sense of false bravado, if you will. And so this Dunning-Kruger phenomenon can apply to selling as well, because so many people here are pumping the brakes on putting their offers out there, honoring their offers, and making that ask, that invitation, because they're concerned about being bad, greedy, and manipulative. But I'm going to let you know some good news right now. Bad, manipulative, and greedy people don't spend a minute moment, nanosecond of their time worrying about being bad, manipulative, or greedy. So I'd like you to consider that the very fact that you've worried about these things at all means you're not those things. Bad people don't worry about being bad. Greedy people don't worry about being greedy. Manipulative people don't worry about being manipulative. And why I lean into this so hard is something I've seen as such an issue for such a long time, and it really becomes one of my secret missions here in this space, is that you see that the people that tend to be really successful are the ones that are really good at selling and marketing, and they're not the ones that can back it up. And then we see a lot of people that are like what we call the industry's best kept secrets, because they really are the best thing out there, but they're a total secret. People that have the most experience, the best training, the biggest hearts, but they won't step into this selling role, if you will. And as a result, they remain unheard. And by being unheard, they unhelp. They do not help others. And so I hope for those of you, this is why I talk about this piece, that have worried about that. Selling is mean and bad and manipulative and greedy and taking and stuff like that, that this can offer something for you, because the reality is that the world needs these big-hearted entrepreneurs that can do, like, practice what they preach and actually deliver on results. But before you can do that, you must be able to get the yes. Okay? Now here's what's going to lean into that even more. When you realize selling is a tool, you realize that it's a tool for service. Because every single, I'm going to talk really fast, I got a lot to go over here. Every single one of us is in the business of solving problems. We're in the business of solving problems, but we don't solve those problems until the transaction is made. And this is why I tell my students over and over again, the transformation begins with the transaction. See, a lot of people listening, I don't know a lot, but maybe some are listening, and they're saying, but James, if I really want to help people, why don't I just give it away for free? Okay, so give it away for free. I give a lot of stuff away for free. I've got a YouTube channel with 13 million views, 300 videos. I got a podcast with 5.5 million downloads, free content that we're putting out there every day. Yet for some bizarre, strange, peculiar reason, 99% of the testimonials, 99% of the people say, here's the result I got, here's what happened, here's how my life changed, here's how my business changed, came from our paying customers. I'm going to tell you why. So I'm actually going to be making a case that not selling and giving it all away for free is a massive disservice. If you're in the business of solving problems, we want to start to look at one of the reasons why someone is in the problem in the first place. One of the reasons why someone's in the problem in the first place, I love that quote, Einstein's quote, you can't solve the problem from the same level of consciousness that created it. But a lot of people really find a way to settle. They find a way to survive and endure and sit in a little bit of pain and say, it'll be okay, it's fine, I'm fine, right? It's what I call the I'm fine coma. I'm fine, I'm fine. When truly they're not. And no change or transformation can ever happen in someone's life without first having a decision backed by commitment. And when that person who's been in that problem for enough time and they come to you, and you make an invitation, because we're going to talk about it like that, that invitation, because that's all selling is, it's an invitation, is such a gift. Because in their life, they have been avoiding making any decision to change. Selling is about giving people an invitation to make a decision. And that's it. And some people will say no, some people say not yet, not right now. But some people will have sat there and have thought all these things like, is this really what I need? Can I really do this? Is this really my time? Is this it now? Do I have what it takes? And all their stuff that has been holding them back starts to come to the surface. All the doubts, all the fears, all the worries. And they're looking at all of that. And they're weighing all of that. And then if they join, it's because they put all of that aside and they said yes. That is why selling is a service. Because every time you create an offer, it's simply an invitation. We're not even going to use the word selling anymore. We're going to call it presenting an offer. And all an offer is an invitation. An RSVP, BYOB. Bring your own business. Oh, you didn't know where I was going to go with that one. All right. Okay. Now, I'm going to give you $1 million advice right here. I know, it sounds crazy. So, this is, I love saying this. So simple. It's so simple. I have a guaranteed strategy. Really, really, truly guaranteed. I'm not asking for money. I'm not asking for sales. A guaranteed strategy that you can make more money in the next 12 months than you did in the last 12 months. Put more offers out to more people in the next 12 months than you did in the last 12 months, and you will grow your business. That's it. That's pretty simple. It's a numbers game. 50% or 10% of people say yes, double the amount of asks, right? So let's look at it from this standpoint. We can say yes, selling is a tool, selling is a service. So that means not selling is doing a disservice. Because by not selling, you're not inviting people to make a decision. So the invitation, the offer, is an invitation to decide, to make a decision about their current situation. And it's basically going to be boiled down into a yes or a no. Okay? So, let me check in with you guys. Is this making sense so far? Because I'm about to go into an exercise. I'm just kind of setting up for it. Let me know that you guys are with me, understand this, and this is all making sense. Okay. So, your offer is simply an invitation that creates an environment for a decision to be made. And we want to honor everyone's decision. That decision, by the way, exists outside of your control. Right? So, now we're going to do a little exercise. Okay? If you're still with me and this makes sense, I want to ask you next. Good. Okay. Yes, it makes sense to you guys. What have you made it mean in the past, up until this moment? What does it mean when someone says yes to your stuff? So I want you guys to write that down. Get honest with yourself. You can lie to me, but it doesn't really help to lie to yourself. What does a yes mean when someone says yes? If someone says yes to my offer today, what does that mean? Someone says yes, therefore blank. Okay? And you guys want to type it in here? Then please do. There's just a lag, so I kind of want to try and stay on top of that. Okay? So I'll give you guys a second to really ponder this one. Okay? Because some of you guys know what question I'm going to ask next. They believe in me. It means validation. They trust me, that I'm valuable, that it means I'm good enough. It means a reward. It means they want it. It means I'm going to win. It means they're ready. Okay, cool. So, who's already figured out what I'm going to say here, right? So what does it mean? Okay, now this is important. Please, 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 if you want to do the work. So a lot of people like to, I love you guys so much. But if you're just putting in the comments what you've heard before or what you think is the right answer or something you want to impress somebody with, that's not doing the work. It's about really being honest with yourself. Up until this moment, if I got to know, when I made the invite, what have I been making that mean? This person said no about my stuff, therefore blank. Please write it down. Please be honest with yourself. And if you want to share it in our comments here, that's amazing. Okay? So I'm going to give you a moment to really ponder that. What have I been making it mean if I get a no? When someone says no, it means blank. What does it mean about me? Like I said, this is going to be less about teaching. It's more about a little bit of a discovery process. Okay. So, hopefully I've given you guys enough time here, and I'll see if I can go to... Okay. It means my stuff is not good enough, that they don't want my stuff, that they don't like me, that I didn't do enough explaining. It means rejection. It wasn't good enough for them. They don't think my quality is up to what others are doing. I'm not doing good enough as a coach. I missed an opportunity. It means they're not ready yet. Something's wrong with me. Not good enough. Great. Okay. The most important thing is that you are really honest with yourself in that question. Because I can't do this work. I can point to things, but I can't do any of this for you. Never, right? So, with the answer you came up, my question is, can you start to see, by just the answer to this question, that we've pretty much pointed at what's causing the resistance in our selling? We're afraid of rejection. Not because we're afraid of rejection. Not because we're afraid of a no, but because we're afraid of what it will mean about us. And more accurately, we're afraid that it would be true. I'm going to say that again. So many people shy away and get uncomfortable about selling because they fear the no. And I like to say, no, it's not that you fear the no. You fear what the no means and what it means about you. And more accurately, that meaning is true. We fear that meaning that you guys just posted out is true. Because if you knew it was a lie, like Santa Claus, Easter Bunny, hopefully there's no young kids on the call, like beliefs like those, you wouldn't let it drive your life like we let these. Does this make sense? Because this reminds me of one of my favorite stories. Years ago, we were doing a sales training for another business that we were in with our local video agency people. So these were our clients that were building up their local businesses, working with other local businesses, providing video marketing services. And these were like really talented videographers and video marketers, but they were talented in their craft with video, but they weren't really good at selling. And so I decided to do this exercise where I went around the room and I asked that very question. I said, when you get a no, what does that say about you? And it was tragic. People would get the mic and they would lose it. They would be in tears. It means I'm not good enough. It means I'm not cut out for this. It means they don't like me. It means I suck. Now, interestingly enough, it was these same people that were saying those things that were struggling the most. And I say that to say it's not a coincidence, it's a correlation. You have to see the correlation. You got to be willing to connect the dots here, folks. Now, I didn't plan on this. It just, sometimes life happens in these synchronistic, beautiful ways. But in the front row, sitting right here, was this spunky older woman that was just like this giant ball of energy that really, in my kind of ego judgy opinion, like did not fit or mesh with anyone else in the room. It was like mostly younger dudes who were all like tech video guys. And there was Augie. And Augie was the like spunky giant ball of energy. And I knew from talking to her that she was absolutely crushing it. Crushing it. Like just on fire. I think she was doing like 250,000 and people were like, I don't know how to say it. I've been doing this for 6 months. So I intentionally came to her last. And I handed her the mic. And I said, Augie, what do you make it mean about you when someone says no? She nods. She takes the mic, puts it right up to her mouth, without skipping a beat. She looks me dead in the eye and says, absolutely nothing. And that's why she was where she was and others weren't. It's these meanings and stories that we've created about the no that are driving the decisions and the behaviors in your business. Getting a no means nothing. It means absolutely nothing. It means nothing. It means nothing. Now, some people are saying, but they weren't ready yet or they didn't have the money. You're talking about their cause or reasoning or how they came to the decision. I didn't ask what caused the no. I didn't ask why did they say no. I asked, what does it mean? And the answer is it means nothing. People will say no for a million different reasons. What I'm going to have you guys do. Has anyone here ever been on a webinar before, ever been a part of a launch, ever been part of a promotion, and they've said no? Or rather, let me say it this way. Have they ever not purchased the offer? Please, so other people can see, because this is an opportunity for you guys to help others here. Tell me why you said no. Tell me why you didn't buy. And that'll take a few minutes to trickle in because of the delay. But what you'll see is a million different reasons. Wasn't for me. I was already working on another program. Timing wasn't right. Didn't have the funds. Honestly, didn't think I could do it. Didn't like the seller. Didn't like their energy. There's a million different reasons. And each reason is unique and individual to that person. So how could every person that says no at all means the same thing? It means nothing. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. And guess what? This is also going to kind of be a little punch in the face too. What do you think it means when you get a yes? Nothing. It means absolutely nothing. It means the same thing, which it means nothing. So if you start saying yes means I'm awesome, yes means I'm good enough, yes means I'm incredible, and blah, 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 to the degree in which you put meaning on the yes is the degree in which you put a meaning on the no. And there is absolutely no inherent meaning in a yes or no. Now, I can share this conceptually. I can share this as ideas. I can share this on an easel in the middle of an Airbnb in Sedona, Arizona. And it will mean absolute diddly squat until you live your life that way. Because remember what I said, if we have a fear of selling, we don't have a fear of selling, we have a fear of the rejection or the no. But then I said we don't have a fear of the no, we have a fear of the meaning that the no has connected to it. And that meaning might actually be true. Once you actually realize and integrate from your head down into your heart that it means nothing, you're free. You won't have that fear anymore. Because if I said, are you afraid of nothing? Like, are you afraid of the idea of nothing? You say no. Are you afraid of not being good enough? Yeah. Are you afraid of not being cut out for this? Yeah. I would be too. But it doesn't mean that. It just means no. But again, I can't do that for you. Until you're able to connect that and integrate that, we'll keep going back to our old stories, our old relationship with selling. We'll keep doing things like hesitating, delaying, trying to perfect it. We'll bring that energy into our launches and promotions and webinars, and people will feel it. How many of you have attended a webinar and the person just felt really needy, kind of desperate,